Hi, Dave Skosic. Welcome back. Still here at the beautiful campus of Delaware State University in the Oscar building. I have with me the president and station manager of Delaware Public Radio, which is 91.1, Delaware's only national public radio station. I'm with Casey Houtz. Welcome, Casey.
Good morning. Thank you. And yes, I'm with Delaware Public Media, and we got started in 2010 as Delaware First Media. And what happened was about 2009, 2010, several journalists here in Delaware noticed a lack of reporting about Delaware. More reporters were coming from out of state, reporting from different places, and there wasn't the in-depth reporting that Delaware needed. People weren't at Lake Hall anymore. They weren't reporting on topics that were actually happening here. So these folks got together, and we started Delaware First Media, which was an online-only news organization. And we started with just 2 staff members. We have 2 partners, major founding partners, both DSU, Delaware State University, and University of Delaware. So in 2010, we started at the campus of University of Delaware doing online news, reporting, journalism, things like that. And through happenstance, we happened to get on the radio through an opportunity that we jumped on very quickly. And in 2012, August 17th, we started on 91.1 WDDE here in Dover. And through our partnership, we moved our station down here to Delaware First Media. And Dover is now our home and where we report out of.
So you've been here almost coming up on 3 years.
Yes. We've celebrated our 3rd year anniversary on air, 5 years reporting and going from there. We've expanded already since that point. Our signal covers from about Rehoboth to about Middletown on 91.1. And we're now, after about a year and a half, we're now on 91.7 WMPH in Wilmington. That is actually owned and operated by the Brandywine School District at Mount Pleasant High School. And that's the oldest high school radio station in the state, and we partnered with them. And the partnership goes that we have hired a reporter and producer to work with their students to teach them how to do journalism in the 21st century. And in return, they're airing us during the morning and afternoon drive time. So anybody in Wilmington who actually wants to hear Delaware news can hear it on 91.7 while they're coming to and from work. And of course, in today's digital age, we stream all the time on our website, delawarepublic.org.
Delawarepublic.org.
Delawarepublic.org. We're also on iTunes Radio. So if you search for Delaware Public Media on iTunes, you can stream us there as well.
It's a competitive world, and you're keeping right up with it.
We are, yes. We are on iTunes. We podcast. We have our website, Twitter, Facebook. We're there wherever anybody needs us to be.
Now, I think most people know this, but tell me the difference between National Public Radio programming and your regular commercial radio programming.
National Public Radio is non-commercial, non-profit radio, which means that we don't sell commercials and advertising to pay for the formatting. We also put a real strict firewall between the folks who do support us and our reporting and our journalism. So that gives us 2 things that I frankly feel is a stronger point than our competitors, is that one, it allows us more time to tell stories. So on commercial radio or television, out of an hour, you might have only 40, 42 minutes of content. We provide up to 58 minutes of content every hour of news and information that you can actually use.
And it's not just local, it's national and international.
Correct, yes. We have partnered with NPR. We are an affiliate of NPR, which means we are our own 503c corporation here in Delaware. We choose our own programs, where we put them, where we're going to have it. And then we pay an affiliation fee for NPR, and we pay for the programs. And then we also are affiliated with the BBC. So we air international news from the BBC and NPR, and we pick our programming of where it's going to go when that we feel best suits Delaware. And then in return, after paying those bills, we turn to our listeners, our donors, and corporations here to help support the station. And listeners sometimes will receive gifts if they'd like it or not. It's a community resource like a library or a theater, is how it works.
I think the in-depth analysis, I think, is what's important too.
Yes,
on stories.
It really allows us, with that more time to tell stories, you don't get just a 30-second blurb of this or that. We go into stories that are 4, 8, 12. Sometimes we even do 20, 25-minute long stories on our hour-long weekly program, The Green, which is all about Delaware.
And tell me what kind of stories. Give me some examples of stories.
Oh, well, we have everything from politics and government with our political reporter, James Dawson, to our arts playlist series with our morning edition host, Kathy Carter, who she's fantastic and does great stories about what's happening in the arts here in Delaware. We have a science reporter, Eli Chen, who does environment and science stories. She's reported from about the Oscar building to what's happening on the coastline to what's happening in the farmlands. We use Ann Hoffman, who is the person up in Wilmington. Not only is she based in Wilmington and Newcastle County, but she's also doing a lot of great stories about education. She also happens to be bilingual, so she's been getting into the immigrant population and being able to get into areas that we couldn't get to before. And our afternoon host, Annie Ropeek, also has a basis in reporting in the environment. She was before here, was in Alaska. So she's got some in-depth in the environment and general reporting. And so all of them come together with Tom Byrne, our news director. And so we really do cover everything. That's the whole point, is we want in-depth analysis of everything that's happening in Delaware. As long as it happens in Delaware, that's what we're reporting on.
I think that's really important. And I know that you remain nonpartisan. I think that's important too.
That is a key point of what we do in Delaware Public Media is we tell a story and we let you decide. That's one of the founding lines from NPR really is we just tell you the story. We don't care what you think as long as you just think and make a decision for yourself. If you hear it one way that you weren't expecting, maybe you're hearing something that you weren't there before, but we strive day in and day out to tell both sides of the story equally and let you decide where you should lie on the topic.
And tell me the frequencies again. I know we know the one here
in Dover, around Dover is 91.1, and then up in Wilmington is 91.7.
And tell me your website again. We'll have it on the...
Yes, DelawarePublic.org, all spelled out. And so straight DelawarePublic.org, and we're on Facebook and Twitter at WDDE 91.1.
And it's important that people contribute to support the programs that they like.
Yes, that's the whole key, is that our listeners donate, and then corporations can do some underwriting as well through donating as well. It's through, because of listener support and corporate support. Once we get the listener support, we can then turn to corporations and say, people are listening and they're donating, please help donate.
And they can also give feedback through your website too.
They can give feedback, and that those funding supports for our listeners allow us then to turn to grantors and the government to ask for additional funds.
Well, it is important to support NPR as an alternative source of, actually it's a primary source of information.
I hope it's your primary. If it's your secondary, tertiary, that's fine. The key though is that we're all about Delaware here, and that's what we're reporting.
I've been with Casey Houtz, Delaware Public Media. Thank you very much. We'll be right back. Dave Skozik here, just closing out the program. We had a great series of interviews at Delaware State University. Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Have a wonderful day.